Lesson is on choosing a data display. First, we're going to look at our key idea. In our key idea, we have different data displays and what they do. So first would be a pictograph, and it shows data using pictures. Now we have a bar graph, and it shows data in specific categories. A circle graph shows data as parts of a whole. A line graph shows how data change over time. A histogram shows frequencies of data values in intervals of the same size. A stem and leaf plot orders numerical data and shows how they are distributed. A box and whisker plot shows the variability of a data set by using quartiles. A dot plot shows the number of times each value occurs in a data set. And a scatter plot shows the relationship between two data sets by using ordered pairs in a coordinate plane. For our first example, we're choosing an appropriate data display. Choose an appropriate data display for the situation. Explain your reasoning. For A, we have the number of students in a marching band each year. The key on this one is each year. A line graph shows change over time, so a line graph is an appropriate data display. For B, we have a comparison of people's shoe sizes and their heights. What we want to look at on this one is that we have two different data sets. So we want to compare two different data sets. So a scatter plot is an appropriate data display. For our second example, we're identifying an appropriate data display. You record the number of hits for your school's new website for 5 months. Tell whether the data display is appropriate for representing how the number of hits changed during the 5 months. Explain your reasoning. So you'll see that we have the number of hits for these 5 months. For A, we have a bar graph. The bar graph shows the number of hits for each month, so it's an appropriate data display. On B, we have a histogram. You know it's a histogram because we have intervals and the bars are right next to each other. Those two things will tell you it's a histogram. The histogram does not show the number of hits for each month or how the number of hits changes over time, so it is not an appropriate data display. For our third example, we're identifying a misleading data display. Which line graph is misleading? Explain. We're going to look at the two line graphs and decide which one of these two is misleading. The vertical axis on the line graph on the left has a break. The break is right here between 0 and 8 and begins at 8. This graph makes it appear that the total revenue increased rapidly from 2005 to 2009. So it looks like from 2005 to 2009 that the total revenue increased rapidly. The graph on the right has an unbroken axis. It goes up by 2s. It is more honest and shows that the total revenue increased slowly. So from 2005 to 2009, it just looks like it went up slowly. It does not look like it went up quickly. So the graph on the left is misleading. For our fourth example, we're analyzing a misleading data display. A volunteer concludes that the numbers of cans of food and boxes of food donated were about the same. Is this conclusion accurate? Explain. Each icon represents the same number of items because it shows here that this picture is 20 cans, the box would be 20 boxes, and the bottle is 20 bottles. Because the box icon is larger than the can icon, it looks like the number of boxes is about the same as the number of cans. So our box is larger, so it looks almost like it would be worth the same as 2 cans. But the number of boxes is actually about half the number of cans. So the conclusion is not accurate. Don't forget to fill out your notes and remember to watch the video again if needed.